time to drop.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hennisphere. Today is day 3 of my Orlando/Tampa, Florida vacation. I am coming to you from SeaWorld Orlando, right behind me. Man, what a trip this has been so far. I really didn't show you what happened yesterday. I went to Hollywood Horror Nights at Universal Studios, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had at a theme park. I will fill you in a little bit more on the details, but anyway, for today, I am so excited to be riding Mako and Manta and Journey to Atlantis and Kraken, because 3 out of the 4 I can compare to roller coasters I've ridden. Diamondback, I've only ridden like twice. I'll compare that to Mako. Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld San Antonio. Obviously, I'll compare that to the JTA here. I've never been on a flying coaster, so I'm so excited for that. And there's Kraken, which I'll compare to Superman Krypton coaster. I'm in the park now, and there was no wait to get in. Unlike yesterday at Busch Gardens, I had to wait a little bit. But I like the front entrance of this park more than San Antonio. I'm gonna be comparing this to San Antonio quite a lot because I work full-time at SeaWorld San Antonio as a ride mechanic. I'm even rocking the Wave Breaker merch right off the bat. Like, you've got stores, the strollers, and everything that you're forced to walk in front of when you walk in. At San Antonio, it's just kind of like almost a lobby. Like, you've got stuff to your left and right, but most people kind of just bypass it because it's so wide. Here, they force you to get up real close to everything. Maybe go in a store and buy something, you know, or the photo pass booth. At San Antonio, it's pretty much, you don't see the photo pass booth until you're leaving the park. I like the layout of this entrance. Now I'm staring at Manta, which looks absolutely beautiful. This might be the most beautiful roller coaster I've ever seen because it's got the water right here at the front of the park with tons of palm trees and waterfalls and foliage. Just looks amazing. It's like something you would see from like a really famous YouTuber called Moonkin FTW with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I don't know if any of you remember him, but he used to build the most incredible roller coasters in that game, and his theming was just absolutely incredible. So that's what I'm getting flashbacks of, just staring at Manta right now. I don't see any trains moving, so I'm gonna assume they're either stacking trains or running one train ops right now, but I'm gonna wait here and see if one goes so I can get some off-ride footage. Yes, I will be ranking all of the roller coasters here except for Super Grover's Boxcar Derby. All right, we got the pink dogs over here. I don't see the Chex Mix for us to buy so we can feed them. Manta looks absolutely incredible, but 60 minutes? No, thank you, not right now. Wow, this is impressive. We don't have any kind of theming like this at SeaWorld San Antonio. The only problem is, like, it's so hot in here because all the sun rays reflect off of the white instead of getting absorbed by darker material. So this is so cool though. I wish we had this around our penguin area. This is the Expedition Cafe to my left, and then to my right, looks like that's the okay, Empire of the Penguin. I thought it was a polar bear thing, but this is cool. Now this is a proper JTA. This is probably the biggest difference in terms of ride lineup that we have that we can compare at SeaWorld San Antonio and the other SeaWorld parks. This, on paper, I prefer. I've not been on one yet, but I gotta go on it. I mean, it just looks so much better than the one we have at SeaWorld San Antonio. It's not a mock power splash. So let's go see how long the wait is. These swords are very old. This design. I remember having a sword like this exact one more than 10 years ago, and they're still making them. Pretty cool. I forget if it was my brother or me that bought one, but we have one at my house. We haven't thrown it away yet. So I did Journey to Atlantis here at SeaWorld Orlando. I'm gonna say that I enjoyed it more than the Mako Power Splash at San Antonio, strictly because of the theming. There's so much theming in here, and I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I love Splash Mountain, and this is more similar to that. So it was awesome, and it has more roller coaster features than the Mako Power Splash. That one has 2 drops. This one has a little more than that. It has a lot of section where you're actually rolling without any water. The car's just going by itself, just rolling along on its wheels. I certainly prefer it over JTA at SeaWorld San Antonio. One thing I did notice though is there's like, I forget what the deity or the female like serpent, what that thing's name is, but I've seen videos of where like the eyes light up, and today when we went under it, there was no movement, there was no eyes or effects. It was just like turned off. So I wish that was on. It would have looked really cool. It was pretty scary looking. Looks like something happened with JTA because they're sending a bunch of empty boats right now. They've sent 5 straight empty boats, but should be opening back up soon. The line really died down. It said it was a 35-minute wait. I think I waited less than 20. Journey to Atlantis is already back up. And I was filming a spot where I saw Mark and Logan filming yesterday. It's after the first drop and it does the turnaround. There's just a little drop that it does, and there's a quick left-hand turn, like just a little S-curve, and the boats kind of like, they take on an insane amount of water right there, and seeing people's reactions is pretty funny. I'm glad I saw that on their story yesterday. 15 minutes. Oh, I can't pass this up. Let's go flying. Holy crap, guys. Like, I can't believe I finally did my first flying coaster, and I didn't really know what to expect, I guess, because I'm so blown away. Like, that was incredible, and I need at least 2 more rides on it. Manta is beautiful in pretty much every way. Like, walking through that queue was crazy because they had so many animals to look at in the aquarium. There's an aquarium entrance right next to the Manta entrance. They had manta, it looked like manta rays, some sharks, some fish to look at, and I mean, they don't have that in San Antonio. They don't have animals for you to look at while you're in the queue. I wish Great White had that. Absolutely incredible. The restraints were something else. Like, it was so strange when we were in the station and then you lift up to just face down. Like, I'm just hanging there, and then going through the first drop was crazy. It felt awesome. It was kind of hard to look like straight ahead though. You're kind of just looking at the ground, which is a little weird. For me, I like to look at the track to know what's coming up, or else I can start to get motion sickness. But the pretzel loop, holy crap. Everyone was right about how intense that is, and they describe it as it's trying to rip your head off. That's exactly what it felt like. At the very bottom, you're pulling some serious positive G's. And then the little barrel rolls to the right and left, those were a little bit intense. I don't really know what to think of them. At the end of the ride, like, I was starting to get like a tiny bit nauseous, but I think that's because I'm just not used to it. But I need to go again in the back row and front row, because it's literally a walk-on right now for back row. There's no one in line. For front row, you just have to wait for 1 dispatch, and they are running 2 trains. So I'm gonna go get 2 more rides on it. Like, that was incredible. My first flying roller coaster.
Forces speeds, and other intense features that may cause distress. To ensure
So I've had another ride on Manta, this time in the back row, and I'm starting to understand exactly where it ranks compared to like other B&M types of rides. This is gonna be one of like my least favorite B&M types of rides just because I get fairly nauseous on all of the barrel rolls. I really don't like those. The pretzel loop I can handle, but only like 3 times a day. I can't marathon it. It's intense. Flying coasters, I'm glad I finally did one. They're really not my favorite. The other thing that happened is Manta went down for about 15 minutes. I don't really know what the problem was, but a ride mechanic came out and he had a really weird looking tool that he was like cranking on and turning something behind row 4 on the train. He was loosening it or tightening it. I don't really know. He got it. The ride was restarted, and now they just made the announcement that bad weather is coming soon, and there are some really dark clouds above me and they're coming pretty fast. So I think all the rides are gonna get shut down for a little bit. I've been to Florida many times before, and usually when the weather comes, it passes in like 15 minutes. Pretty views here. They have a pretty big lake in the middle of the park. I do not know the name of it. I don't have a park map. I threw it away because it got wet on JTA, but I can see entertainment is out there getting ready for the Christmas celebration. And across the way, that is where Icebreaker is going. A little bit of construction happening right now. That poor flag. Oh, it needs to get untangled very badly. Some great news, guys. I walked to Kraken and it's still open, and I see that Mako is open as well. So apparently the weather is still a ways away. Only a 5-minute wait. I might be able to do this and Mako before the storms get here. Back row. Back at it again with the Asian food. So there's been a couple of other developments. The rides did go down. It started raining right after I got off of Kraken. They sent 2 more trains and then closed it. Good news though is that it only rained for 5 minutes, and I decided to go get some food. By the time I was done eating, they started testing Kraken again, and I saw Manta going with people on it. So I know Manta is open, Kraken's about to be open, Mako going around, so I'm gonna go try to get a ride on that. As far as Kraken goes, it's kind of a toss-up between that and Superman Krypton Coaster for best floorless, because Superman has some really unique elements, and I love how it feels like the drop off the mid-course brake run. First drop is awesome, and then the loop. You actually get some weightlessness at the top of that huge vertical loop. On Kraken, it kind of uses the terrain, so you go in a lot of tunnels. It does have a dive loop, which I love, and overall it's a smoother ride than Superman. It also has better pacing, I believe. So it's a toss-up. It's tough for me to pick one over the other. I'm gonna have to get another ride on Kraken before I decide. Here's my first up-close look at Mako. Man, this part of the park is just, look at that theme. Awesome. It looks amazing. And this whole building right here is a shark encounter. But I think for now, I'm going to try and get on the Sesame Street roller coaster here, the kiddie one. Pick up that credit first and then come back over here for the Mako Marathon. Infinity Falls looks incredible. I'm now in the Sesame Street land area, and I really like what I see. It's so clean, and look, the theming is just on point. I mean, Sesame Street, hey, you got streets. I like it a lot more than Bay of Play at SeaWorld San Antonio. And they have a lot more kiddie rides here. I thought Bay of Play had a decent amount, but this one has a lot more. Time for the kiddie credit. Looks like Flight of the Hippogriff clone. Much better than Super Grover's at SeaWorld San Antonio. Super Grover's was all right. Much better than the kiddie coasters I did at both of the Fun Spot parks. But you know, a cred's a cred. Here it is, the main attraction of the day, the one I was looking forward to, Mako. And the wait time, 20 minutes. Let's go. Oh my goodness, guys, like my mind is blown right now. Mako was that good. I didn't think it would be that good, but it's that good. It is up there competing for a top 3 spot on my all-time favorite roller coasters, like with Diamondback. I don't know if it's better than Diamondback. I can't decide right now. I've only gotten 1 ride on this. I have like 3 rides on Diamondback. I was sitting in row 4 and it truly blew me away. The amount of ejector airtime was insane. Then the amount of floater airtime was insane. And I have to marathon this thing. Like, now I see why people have ridden it hundreds or thousands of times. It's that good. It's that smooth. Statistically, it's a beast. Oh, I need to do it again. I have to. Something else that's incredible is it's only a station wait. Like, I only had to wait for 1 dispatch, and then I was allowed to go on and cut a whole group of people because I was riding by myself. Truly amazing. Going up.
Well, we're just about 300 feet up. Encounter today to see how you can experience Discovery Cove and Aquatica. Tours, educational programs, or restaurant reservations, just stop by the guest information counter near the front of the SeaWorld entrance gates.
Observation tower was decent.
Yeah.
I got great views of everything. I really wish SeaWorld San Antonio had something like that. I got to ride it all by myself. The only person other than me in there was the ride attendant. Unfortunately, I did not get on Kraken just now, even though it had no wait. I was going to get on the next train. If you look at the sky, it's about to start pouring. There is lightning all around. They closed the ride. Now it's time to do this Antarctica ride. It's a perfect time to do it, actually. I can be inside. Oh man, I got that on camera. Let's go inside. This is so cool. So much better than San Antonio. Okay, a lot just happened. It is still overcast right now, but the sun is starting to come out. It's not closing time yet in the park. It's about 5:37. The park closes at 6. As I hear thunder, I can tell you that Kraken is closed for good. JTA is closed for good. They're not reopening. I don't know about Manta, but I'm not wanting to ride that one. I really just want to ride Mako. So I'm gonna try to get over there. I have plenty of time to make it. See if it's open. I doubt it, but I did get to go on the ride right behind me, the Antarctica ride. Now, when I walked up, it was down. So I went through the walkthrough, and the penguin exhibit was freaking amazing. Like, this sounds mean, but it's true. It makes SeaWorld San Antonio's penguin exhibit look like absolute crap. So that, like, sorry, it sounds mean, but that one is amazing. I just went through. And then when I got out, the ride had reopened. So I got in line for the ride. Less than like 2 turns into the ride, in like the second room, it broke. And the music shut off, and we just sat there. And then we kind of inched our way through each room into the penguin room, and it was freezing cold again. I wanted to get out of there as soon as possible, but that ride is a trackless dark ride, and it was really awesome when it was working for the first 20 seconds, but unfortunately it didn't last. I'm just gonna go check Mako. Well guys, the day didn't end how I thought it would. Rain came again. Those rides that were closed at around like 5 o'clock, they did not reopen. I tried to get Mako again. They left the queue line open, but when I got to the station, they looked at me and said, like, you can't be here. The ride's closed. I had a great time still. I'm so happy I got every credit. Like, Mako was out of this world good. I encourage anyone in Orlando, anyone in Florida, like, Mako is a ride that you really need to get on. It's top 5 for me. Top 5 out of 100 and almost 40 credits now. B&M Hypers, they've got to be like my favorite now. This trip has been amazing. I've gotten every single credit so far. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you all at the next theme park. That was another day in the Hennisphere.